please join in as Julia Benvey leads us in the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Don't sit. Please remain standing for our national anthem, performed by Emma Rogers and Julian Anderson.
It's not super good yet, but I'll give it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Right? You can sit. Good morning, everyone. Superintendent Jeff Simonak, members of the school committee, Board of Selectmen, invited guests, faculty, family, and friends, and most importantly, the class of 2021. I'd love to welcome you to this morning's graduation ceremony. Please pause for a moment of silence for our service people, those who are currently serving, members of the class of 2021 who will serve, and those who have fallen in the service of this great nation. Before we get started, it's important that I take a moment to thank some of the key people in making tonight special. Senior class advisors, Mr. Dan Moriarty and Mr. John Rosen, for the hours they have dedicated to this senior class. Mrs. Siobhan Horton for performing and accomplishing many unrealized tasks that take all day and many hours late into the evening to make sure this ceremony runs as smoothly as possible. Mr. David Fleck for the organization of this morning's festivities. Mr. Marcus Casey and Mr. Jason Cook for providing all audio and visual enhancements tonight, or this morning. I'd also be remiss if I didn't thank Mr. Ernie Sandlin, Mr. Matt Carew, and the whole facility staff They must be commended for all the additional setups required for this year's celebration. Finally, I think it would be appropriate for us all to take a moment and reflect on the journey that has brought us here today. There have been hardships overcome, joyful moments, and relationships both created and lost. But we have persevered. Sadly, not all of us are able to join us today. Midway through this year, our school community, our school family, suffered the loss of two of our loved teachers. Their impact on the lives of those around them will continue to be felt for years to come. I ask that you join me in a moment of silence to honor the work they have done, the impact they have made, and the memories we will keep close. Now on to the rest of the program. I would like to introduce Delaney McDonald, President of the Class of 2021, to welcome you all to today's ceremony.
Good morning. As Senior Class President, I would like to welcome Superintendent Simonak, school committee members, Dr. Jones, the Whitman Hanson faculty and staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2021 for today's commencement. Without all of you, we would not be here today. There is one singular phrase I have heard in repetition over and over again since March 2020. Look on the bright side. Sound familiar? These 4 words, 5 syllables, have dangled over our heads hoping that we see the good in this situation. But for a bunch of 17-year-olds, this phrase was nothing but confusing, aggravating, and a silent reminder of all we had lost. In speaking for myself, I often replied to this expression with, "What bright side?" Because to me, I couldn't seem to find one. The whole world seemed to have caved in on us in some of our most important and memorable years of education. Were they perfect? Absolutely not. But they served as a gentle reminder to always be grateful for what you have, not envious of what you don't. The class of 2021 first set out on this adventure called COVID-19 in March of 2020. What started as a 2-week-long break soon snowballed into what was once an unfamiliar word, quarantine. Now, quarantine wasn't all that bad. Our parents and guardians were over the moon excited to have us all home, at first. We played board games, binge-watched Netflix, Tiger King and Outer Banks in particular, stressed about a toilet paper shortage for absolutely no reason at all, and we all became addicted to TikTok. Although disheartened by the absence of a junior prom and time that should have been invested in college tours, we were able to see what we had before us and take in every second of it. During this stage, we connected with each other more than we ever have before. We celebrated birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, you name it, via goofy videos and well-organized drive-bys. Then summer approached. We were in desperate need for a bright side, something warm to replace the absence of a loved one's hug, something sweet like ice cream to remind us of the bittersweet moments we may have previously taken for granted. And quite honestly, we just needed something to get us out of the same pair of pajamas we've been wearing since March. We were finally seniors, about to embark on our final year of high school. And although we were uncertain of what type of school year laid ahead, we, as a class and as a community, went into our senior year with integrity, grit, and hope. We started off strong, day 1, with a senior sunrise, despite the fact that the sunrise could not be seen. Thanks, Mother Nature. And then Cohort A strutted into the building, and Cohort B went home to bed to log on virtually. Now, as awful as virtual learning sounded in the beginning, I think we can all say we grew to love it. We had snacks available 24/7, got the opportunity to see everyone's pets and siblings, and teachers, you may want to block your ears for this one, but we even took naps during class. And we all had that one friend we knew we had to call to wake up before the period ended. But regardless, the virtual world wasn't all that bad. As the school year progressed, our senior events began approaching, and myself, along with the class officers and advisors, really needed to get creative with these. We held Whitman Hanson's first ever senior day, which included a professional photo booth with world-renowned photographer Mr. Casey, A treacherous and complicated scavenger hunt, some challenging teacher jeopardy, family feud, and minute to win it. We even had our talented valedictorian Abby Delory design us t-shirts. Then came along our gift card bingo trivia night that made some of our Panthers rich and others not, including myself. Even though these events weren't what we initially expected when envisioning our senior year, we still treated them as if they shared the same importance as prom or graduation, things that at the time we were unsure would ever happen. But due to luck and a strong sense of Panther pride, we held a prom at Gillette Stadium. We finally got to fix our hair, put on those tuxes and prom dresses, even if they were from junior year, and dance the night away together. Now here we are today, cap and gown and all, about to say farewell to an important chapter of our lives. This year taught us that imperfection isn't just okay, but has actually been kind of welcoming. What a relief to not have to dress up, fix your hair, remember which outfit you've already worn that week, and so on. This year allowed us to be more ourselves than ever before. We proudly embraced our ability to binge Netflix shows, and our wardrobe shrunk to daily sweatpants and hoodies, but we were still in style. Sure, we missed out on seeing Christina Short smile every day, and yes, we didn't get the chance to watch Chris Blackman crush his senior year of soccer, and okay, we were even robbed of experiencing Julian Anderson's daily extravagant outfits. However, just walking around outside the school the other day at the cookout with masks off, seeing everyone with their yearbooks and smiles on their faces, brought me right back to where we left off. It proved to me that we not only made it, but that we did it while having fun and taking advantage of every opportunity given to us. And most importantly, it taught me that being imperfect is perfectly fine. Now I want to challenge the class of 2021 to embrace the imperfect, because like the Rolling Stones say, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you get what you need. I can strongly stand by the fact that I believe this class, these seniors sitting in front of me, are some of the strongest to ever enter and exit Whitman Hanson's doors. And I know that through battling this uncertain year, we have all gained an unseen sense of patience, resilience, and willingness to appreciate every little thing life brings our way. The future is brighter than ever because of the class of 2021, and I'm beyond excited to see what greatness we will all do in our years to come. It has been a privilege and an honor to obtain this role as class president, and I just have to thank my fellow classmates for trusting me in this position, my family for supporting me every step of the way, our class advisors for doing everything they possibly can to make our high school experience exceptional, and every class officer throughout the years who has helped me navigate this challenging but rewarding role. I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you.
Please welcome the salutatorian of the class of 2021, Peyton Bourgeois, presenting her speech, The Little Things.
Good morning. It is an honor to be standing before my fellow classmates, teachers, administration, and family members here tonight. For some of us, this moment could not have come sooner. For me, it could have. But I'm excited to move on, but sad to say goodbye. There's no question that this year was a disaster. It felt like we were constantly readapting and then adapting and then tearing it all down and starting over. But I don't want to focus on the bad. I feel like we tend to get swept up in what we lost, but instead, I want to remind everyone what we have gained. First, perspective. Perspective on what truly matters in our lives. Perspective that the little things are what we will carry with us long after our time at Whitman Hanson. We will remember the energy on the bus on the way home from a big win, breakfast at Ted's, or that one drive with your friends where you almost crashed listening to the All Too Well Bridge. We will probably one day miss the juniors, who do not understand the concept of the senior lot, or the watery frozen yogurt in the cafeteria. It's the lifelong friendships and the inside jokes and the feeling of trying to hold in laughter in a silent classroom that will matter so much more than the events that we miss. I think for me, one of the biggest perspective shifts was welcome sign Wednesday. Because as a freshman or a sophomore, you don't really pay much attention to those signs that Dr. Jones holds. Maybe you're too tired to notice, or you think they're embarrassing because you're a freshman and everything is embarrassing. But then you only have a few weeks left with the people that you've been surrounded by for 12 years. And you realize that out there, outside of our little Whitman Hanson bubble, nobody is going to tell you on a regular schedule that you are incredible or inspiring or that you matter. You have to figure that out yourself. And suddenly, Welcome Sign Wednesday becomes really emotionally heavy for 7:03 in the morning. So thank you, Whitman Hanson, for reminding us that somebody is always rooting for us. We have also gained appreciation. Appreciation for our families, our friends, and our teachers. We did our schoolwork from a kitchen counter or a bedroom desk for the better part of the year, and it was not easy for anyone. I want to thank our families for tiptoeing around our Google Meets, although we can never unsee some of those parents in bathrobes in the background. And to my family, Mom, Dad, Jack, Logan, and Emerson, thank you for supporting me, encouraging me, and for always pushing me to be my best self. I would not be up here without your love and support. To the teachers that have made my time here more enjoyable. Mrs. Dempsey, you are easily the kindest, most genuine teacher I have ever had. From long talks after school to check-in Zooms during early quarantine, I do not believe there is a single action you take that isn't out of love for your students. And to Mr. Dunn, I can definitely say that AP Ur was my absolute favorite class in high school. And to Ms. Kerrigan, who has met with me whenever I needed during these last 4 years, I cannot place a value on the advice and mentorship you have given me. I especially want to thank all of the teachers who gave us a break this year and who understood that sometimes we just couldn't do it. To the teachers that cared more about their students' well-being and stress level and not just about passing in work on time, we all love and appreciate you. And back to the class of 2021. I think we also can appreciate the high school milestones that we did get to experience, like prom at Gillette, where we all wore masks and social distance, or fun little events like Senior Day that were super sweet and just reminded us that people cared. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough. And lastly, we will leave here as a class that is resilient, strong, and determined. The class of 2021 has shown time and time again that we can handle any challenge that comes our way. We fought hard to get here, and we will continue to fight as we move forward. I have faith that each and every one of you will go on to accomplish outstanding achievements in your lives. I hope you head into the future with your head held high, knowing all we went through to get here. Congratulations and good luck to the class of 2021. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to welcome to the lectern the valedictorian of the class of 2021, Abigail Delory, to present her speech, Life Lessons.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2021. We made it. First off, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who made it possible for us to get to this point. Friends, family members, Whitman Hanson staff and faculty, and everyone else who worked behind the scenes or supported us along the way. You guys have been a major part of our lives these past 4 years, and for many of us, you helped us find direction as we move forward into our careers and studies. You believed in us when we doubted ourselves, encouraged us to keep working even when it was hard, shared some of your boundless wisdom, and for all of that, we're eternally grateful. On a more personal note, I'd like to say thank you to my family, especially those watching from the audience right now, for the constant inspiration and unconditional love. My friends, for the endless laughter, and for never missing an opportunity to humble me. The school's bus drivers, without whom I would literally go nowhere, and my job at Angel Rose Beets for funding my ice cream addiction. I won't name drop any of my past teachers since they all know who they are, but to them I say thank you the most for making my high school experience one which I will miss dearly. These diplomas which we're about to receive represent 12+ years of well-rounded education and the end to this chapter in our lives. Let's never forget the lessons we've learned both in and out of the classroom so that we may employ them in our future. For example, our math classes taught us how to work logically and solve problems in different ways. Science, more specifically the scientific method, helped us understand the importance of trial and error. English guided us to analyze the bias and intentions behind a piece of writing, an important skill to have with the amount of media we consume today. In history class, we studied figures who were able to bring about tremendous change, starting with the slightest glimmer of an idea. And last but not least, our language classes helped us connect with cultures different from our own, something many of us will be able to do more of as we spread out and travel the world. An academic education was not the only thing imparted on us during high school. Some of our most valuable lessons didn't come from a textbook or PowerPoint. Here are a few of the life lessons I picked up during our time here at Whitman Hanson. 1. Don't be scared to try new things, whether it's crocodile pizza on a trip to Australia or a new extracurricular activity. It took me a full season of girls volleyball my freshman year and 2 weeks of track my sophomore year, yes, only 2 weeks, to realize that sports are not my thing. But hey, now I know. If you found your passion in high school, make sure you continue pursuing it. And if you haven't found your passion yet, keep trying new things until you do. Don't wait for life to happen to you, otherwise you'll look up one day and wonder where the time is gone. Number 2, question everything and challenge the status quo. I put this into practice at Band Book Club, where we read books that are blocked at other schools, usually for addressing topics deemed too uncomfortable. I think that the most exciting and accomplished figures in literature and history are the ones who weren't afraid to create discomfort and stand up for what they believed in, from Moira in The Handmaid's Tale to the leaders of entire social justice movements. Don't be scared to rock the boat as long as it's for the right reasons. Number 3, treat people with kindness, just like Harry Styles always says. You never know what someone is going through, and a small act of kindness can go a very long way. After over a year of quarantining, social distancing, and not even being able to properly smile at one another, I think a lot of us have gotten used to our own little bubbles in the interest of self-preservation. Now that we're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, let's make up for the lost time with an overabundance of kindness. Number 4, everybody is on their own path, and no single path is objectively better than another. One person's long-term goal might be to pursue a professional career with the highest salary, while another person's goal might simply be the pursuit of happiness. Both are valid. One of my goals has always been to travel, so I put college on hold and joined a gap year program where I'll be able to travel around the United States and possibly beyond before continuing my studies. It's not the most common path, but it's the one I decided was best for me. Moving forward, we get the freedom to choose our own adventure, so choose wisely. I can't wait to see what you'll all accomplish in the future, as I know for a fact that the class of 2021 has limitless potential and will go on to do great things. As long as you're willing to put the work in, no goal is unreachable. It's time for us to go out there and chase our dreams. I know it's cheesy, but it's very true. Say goodbye to Whitman Hanson Spirit Weeks, field trips, sporting events, performances, art shows, classrooms, excessive fire drills, whatever high school memories you will miss the most. Just never forget where you came from, especially if you become famous. So let's enjoy the last few hours we'll ever spend together as a class, which is a very strange thought, and I wish everyone the very best of luck.
I would now like to invite our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jeffrey Simonak, to present his remarks to the class of 2021.
Good morning. Before I begin, I would just ask us to pause in silence and respect for the fallen officers of Worcester and Braintree. Thank you. Dr. Jones, Mr. Fleck, Chairman Hayes, members of the school committee, faculty, parents, family, friends, and members of the class of 2021, congratulations and happy graduation day. 35 years ago, on June 7th, 1986, I sat where you sit today, a soon-to-be high school graduate. Although it was a long time ago, I remember bits and pieces of the ceremony and how I felt. I remember the anticipation of graduating, the reality that high school was over, and that comfortable feeling of being with friends and teammates was coming to an end. The fear of being a freshman at Westfield State and the start of something new, my friend Stephen speaking as valedictorian, the hope my principal would pronounce my name correctly just once, and the anxiety of tripping on stage while getting my diploma. What I don't recall was the mayor's speech, what the superintendent said, or even the principal's remarks. Sorry, Dr. Jones. In the next 2 to 3 minutes, I would like to leave you some advice that I've learned through life experience and 27 years working with students as a teacher, coach, advisor, and administrator. Respect yourself. Listen with your heart and use your head. Trust, care, and be committed. Do what's right. When you experience loss, do not live a sad life. Remember your manners. Please and thank you. Remove should've, would've, could've from your vocabulary. Live life with passion. Celebrate successes and learn from failure. Be humble. Talk less, smile more. When you find love, be all in. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Believe in you. Take lots of pictures, but every picture doesn't need posting to social media. Expect the unexpected, and have grace. Maybe someday later in life, you will recall one of these tidbits and say, hey, I remember it was that Simonac guy that said it. One last request before you leave today. Say thank you to a teacher. They appreciate it more than you know. Smile for that picture with your family and don't roll your eyes. Your success and achievement today has brought the people that love you true happiness. Congratulations and good luck.
Please welcome the chairperson of the school committee, Robert Hayes, as he addresses the class of 2021.
Good morning. On behalf of the Whitman-Hanson Regional School Committee, I'd like to welcome everyone to the class graduation ceremony of 2021. Did you think today was ever going to come even after last night? But we are here, and I'm looking at these smiling faces. It's good to see all of you. Before I get started, I first want to ask the students to look out at these smiling faces to your left and to your right and in front of you. Ones that you've seen at the early 7 a.m. starts and during study sessions before a big exam. And at all of your most challenging hours, look at them one last time. As we heard earlier, this is the last time you probably will all be together as a class. I'm talking about you, parents, siblings, teachers, for all that you have done for the class of 2021. We thank all of you immensely, and these students should thank you too. When I think of this class, the first words that come to mind are grit, the sustained, consistent effort toward a goal even when we struggle, falter, or temporarily fail. Resilience, the ability to bounce back after we have struggled, faltered, or failed. Determination, persevering towards a difficult goal in spite of many obstacles. And last but not least, hope, an optimistic state of mind that is based on expectations of positive outcomes in respect to events and circumstances in one's life or with the world at large. All of these traits, if you will, have not only been shown by the class of 2021, they have been mastered and adopted by them. In the face of many obstacles, you have chosen to rise, grow, and succeed instead of wavering. You have persevered through challenges that some of us adults on this field did not face until just now. You hoped for a more normal world and did not give up until you got just that. You're here today. This class is special because it has done something no other graduating class has yet to do. You faced the pandemic head on, not only for one school year, but for two. And you did not let that stop you. Absolutely didn't stop you. Goodbye, COVID. This hope, grit, resilience, and determination shows immense character. These traits that you already have mastered are the ones that will continue to bring you towards success in life. Class of 2021, you made the most of an unprecedented and difficult situation and not only endured, but you excelled. I would be remiss if I did not leave you with a few final reminders for my final graduation speech here at Whitman-Hanson. Put down the cell phones. Be present in the moment. Tell the people in your life that you love them. Embrace change. Grow through challenges. Live fully. Never, ever give up. Be a lifelong learner. Success is a destination to arrive at again and again and again. Keep that in mind. As you go off to college, the military, or the workforce, or whatever is next on your path toward success, never forget that Whitman-Hanson will always welcome you with open arms, and you will always be part of a Panther Nation family. Thank you and congratulations to this great class of 2021.
Please welcome the high school assistant principal, Mr. David Fleck, and the Whitman Hanson Educators Association President, Mr. Kevin Kafka, to the podium for the presentation of some awards.
The Alton E. Taylor Award given by the class of 1951. Alton Red Taylor was a member of the class of 1951 who lost his life in the Korean War. Classmates saw Red as a young man who was unknown and in some ways a non-participant until he flourished and became a leader during his senior year. Thus, the class of 1951 felt this award should be given to the senior boy who realized his potential during his senior year. The high school faculty votes on this award. The recipient will receive a check in the amount of $400, and his name will be inscribed on a plaque prominently displayed in the school. This year's recipient of the class of 1951's Alton E. Taylor Award is Nathaniel E. O'Brien. Nathaniel, come on up. Congratulations, Nate. The Narissa Lynn Cross Cup Award given by the class of 1999. Narissa Cross Cup was a member of the class of 1999 who tragically lost her life in a car accident during her junior year. Narissa was a determined and outgoing girl who excelled in academics and athletics. This award is given each year to a senior who has overcome difficult personal circumstances in his or her attempt to attain educational goals and who plans to attend college. The recipient will receive a personal plaque and a check in the amount of $150, and their name will be inscribed on an award plaque prominently displayed in the school. The recipient of the Narissa Lynn Cross Cup Award is Jillian S. Butler.
Oh, hello. Good morning and welcome. Certainly congrats to the class of 2021. You made it. Awesome job. On behalf of the Whitman Hanson Education Association, I'm honored to recognize the following students for achieving academic excellence here at the high school. The first award and a check goes to Emma Rogers. The second award, with a certificate and a fancy plaque, goes to Peyton Borzley. And the next award goes to Abby Delory. All right, this is the big moment. Are you ready? This is the Lovell Award. The Lovell Award is given in memory of Eugenia F. Lovell, a past long-term member of the Whitman School Committee. She dedicated her life to the pursuit and recognition of academic excellence. This award is achieved by the graduate who most exhibits the qualities of excellence held in such esteem by Eugenia F. Lovell. In addition to the fancy plaque that I have, there's a monetary award in the amount of $1,000. The recipient of the Lovell Award is selected by vote of the faculty in recognition of the student who is outstanding in character, leadership, and service to the school. The recipient must rank in the top third of the class. This is the highest and most honorable award attainable here at Whitman Hanson Regional High School. I am honored this year to present this year's, Eugenia F. Lovell Award to Miss Emma Rogers. Thanks, everybody.
Each year, seniors are invited to submit a speech before a committee for the opportunity to offer a few words at commencement. This year, Anna Williams has been selected for this honor. Her speech is entitled, "Three Little Words Lead to Goodbye." Anna, the microphone is yours.
Good morning, parents, relatives, teachers, administrators, friends, family, and the reason we are all here today. Good morning to the Whitman Hanson class of 2021. My name is Anna Williams, and I am honored to be granted the privilege to speak on behalf of my fellow graduates. Many people will say that today is the day that we will start our journey. While this may be true in a way, I disagree. I believe that this journey began the second we walked through the doors and began our high school careers in the summer of August of 2017. Today marks the beginning of 275 different paths being taken. As freshmen, we shared the same path, but now we must take our own, believing that we will always have each other by our side. Many of us grew up being members of Whitman Hanson Regional School District. We went from Whitman and Hanson to Whitman Hanson. This merge brought along many friendships, many memories, and many things to be grateful for. As we went through elementary school, middle school, and even high school, there have always been a single 3 words that have been a part of our vocabulary that have led us to this moment. I can't wait. These 3 words have so much power. These 3 words made the past 12 years go by in the blink of an eye. I can't wait for 5th grade send-off. I can't wait for the 8th grade trip. I can't wait for high school sport games. I can't wait for prom. And the one we have always been thinking about, I can't wait for graduation. We are so focused on getting to these milestones that we forgot how close to the end of the chapter we really are. As we stand here today, we no longer can use any of these phrases because our chapter has come to an end. These 3 little words we have been so used to saying have led us to our final goodbye. As we look back on who we were 4 years ago, I'm sure that not a single one of you is that exact same freshman you used to be. Our time at Whitman Hanson has allowed us to grow and mature to become the successful young adults that we are today. High school is going to change you in unexpected ways, but do not try to avoid this change. This change is good. This change will help us grow. This change is what we need to make the world a better place. As we go through life, we are going to experience failure and obstacles needed in order to reach success. However, it is these failures and these obstacles that are pointing us into the right direction to achieve our goals. As you look around today, there may be people you have never spoken a word to within your 4 years here. There may be some of your best friends for the rest of your life sitting around sporadically in the crowd. There may be somebody that you occasionally walked past in the hallway and smiled to make their day better. Either way, when you look around today, we all have one thing in common. We are the achievers. None of us knew what this year was going to look like. I think everyone here today can agree that this year was the most unpredictable, frustrating year to ever experience in high school. We had to miss out on so much, but we have so much to be grateful for. We have each other. This year, we displayed determination to reach the finish line, the ability to overcome any challenge thrown our way, especially the difficulty in the transition to online learning, the perseverance through rigorous courses, and how we were able to remain positive in any situation when we lost so much. We brought the light to the darkness. As we traveled through the light, we are finally at the end of the tunnel. We are graduates. Congratulations, class of 2021. I hope you the absolute best in your future endeavors.
I'd like to welcome back to the microphone Mr. Robert Hayes to distribute the Whitman Hanson Regional High School Alumni Scholarship.
Whitman Hanson Regional High School Alumni Scholarships is presented annually to the students who have at least one parent attended Whitman Hanson Regional High School. The scholarship is in the amount of $500. The recipients of the 2021 Whitman Hanson Regional High School Alumni Association are Nate Amato, Cole G. Levangi,
It's my turn now. I was going to make a video, because I know you all love those, but instead I figured I'd do this. You know, take care of the easy shots, and the hard ones work themselves out. This is the advice I received as a 15-year-old boy playing pool in a rec room in northeastern Oregon. As I lost game after game to my father. He asked me if I wanted advice, and I said sure, and he gave me that advice. And even though I tried it during that game of pool, it still really didn't work, because the hard ones always end up where there's never an easy shot. I realized that was pretty good advice for games, but not really for life. Now, this isn't a storybook moment where the sunshine came down, the clouds opened up, and I immediately changed the way I thought. First, because my story then was and now is still far from over. And second, because the phrase made sense to a 15-year-old boy who wasn't sure what he wanted out of life, didn't understand goals, much less how to achieve them, and let's be honest, really, really liked being comfortable where he was. I found through experience, though, that there always isn't an easy shot to take, and if you haven't had practice at taking the hard ones, you have less chance of making them when they show up. So here you sit. Many of you are still questioning what you want out of life, still struggling with some goals, and well, for the most part, pretty comfortable. After this year, being safe and taking easy shots probably sounds pretty good right now. But after the year you've been through, let's face it, that is not you. You've shown that you aren't the type to sit around waiting and hoping that problems work themselves out. I mean, think about it for a minute. You're a class that's just lived through a year and a half of a pandemic that saw masks, physical distancing, don't touch that, don't pass papers, stay in your rooms, you're quarantined, you're a close contact. And the halting, adjusting, falling apart and reformation of the American public school system as we know it. The very system that was predictable, safe, and for the most part an easy, constant your whole life. Everyone was constantly reminding you how terrible the experience was, what you were missing, how you were falling behind, instead of helping you focus on what you were ultimately learning about yourselves. And not in a bad way, but out of a caring, loving, feeling empathy for you. But let's be honest, nothing about this really has been easy or comfortable. But the only way any of it's been successful is by not quitting because it was hard, but by relying not on the easy shots, but making the hard ones. Seriously, think about it. How many of you have had that moment this past year, that moment where you just wanted to quit? It's okay, because everyone gets those. The difference is that you didn't, and you're stronger because of it. You found out along the way one of the most valuable secrets to life. No matter how down and out you are, you always have more to give, and just on the other side of that is where your success lies. I have a personal moment I hold on to tightly that reminds me I have more in me no matter the obstacle. And this one, like the last, is definitely not a fairy tale ending. So bear with me. I'd say 2 minutes, but it might be just a touch longer. I had just finished football season. We had gone deep into the playoffs, and so I was late starting wrestling season. And anybody that's wrestled before knows that football shape is not like wrestling shape. And if you want to do anything in wrestling, you need mat time. You need to be out on the mat practicing your moves. So after a week, I said, sure, coach, I'm in. I'll go down and wrestle in that tournament at Southern Connecticut State University. So I go down to the tournament after a week on the mat. And after my first 2 matches, it's pretty cool. I won in the second period. Didn't take me too long. I pinned him, but I was still tired. And my third match came up, the semifinals of the tournament, and I drew an individual from the Coast Guard Academy. And what I didn't realize at the time is that he was the returning New England champion. What I did come to realize very quickly is that he planned on running a lesson on how to wrestle using me as the dummy. Did a good job of it, too. So the match typically takes 7 minutes. It took 12 to 14 minutes to finish this match because they couldn't stop my bleeding. Yeah, it's funny now, not then. But as I came off the mat the first time to my trainer and my coach, because my nose started to bleed, they did what you do in a wrestling match. You stop the bleeding, you pack gauze up your nostril, which is really great for me because I'm in fantastic shape, right? So it's a little harder to breathe. I go back out, and not long after that, I'm the recipient of another one of his good moves, and I bite a flap in the side of my tongue. So I go back to the side. My trainer's standing there, and my trainer looks at me and goes, ooh, okay. Packs my mouth with gauze. So now I've got half my mouth packed with gauze. I've got a nostril packed with gauze. My coach looks at me and he goes, you sure about this? I said, that's all right. I can do this. I mean, really, how much longer can it last? I was about to find out. So I go back out, and not much longer, my other nostril starts to bleed. So I come back out, and the trainer looks at me and goes, this isn't good. I'm like, thanks, appreciate it. I look over at the other wrestler. He's talking to the ref saying, why don't you just stop it? He has to keep stopping because he can't keep going. So they pack my other nostril with gauze. Now I can't breathe out of my nose. I've got a mouthful of gauze. And I say, okay, I go back out there. Not long before, I'm the recipient of another move. I was on the bottom a lot. I'm the recipient of another move, and my tooth goes through my lower lip. And my mom said the same thing when she was watching. I go back over. The trainer goes like this. What do you want me to do? So my coach looks at me and he goes, Jones, you, seriously? I said, sure. What's there, like a minute left? And so I go back out there after they pack the rest of my mouth with gauze. I have a clear memory of being down on the mat with some blood dripping off my face. And every time we went out of bounds, saying to myself, seriously, what are you doing? I went back out there and finished the match. Now, I'd love to tell you this is one of those Rudy moments where I won. I didn't. I lost 11-7. But that moment stays with me because it proved something to me. To me, I won because it was what a lot of coaches call gut check time. I kept going out there, even though I didn't want to. I kept moving forward, taking that one more step, even when things were bad, even when my own coach asked me if I wanted to quit. The trainer told me I should quit. The other wrestler was asking if I should quit. My mother, when I talked to her later, said she was sitting in the stands going, just lay down. Like, really? But the thing is, those people were telling me that out of caring and love. Just like many have been telling you, how can you go one more step? Just one more thing, because there have been plenty of things this year. But you've continued to do it as a class because, see, people will always be there to tell you how hard, unfair, or unwinnable things are in life. Often, like I said, from a place of caring and love. But you, yourself, have to decide, much like you've done this year, to keep pushing through. We always have more in us than we think. We've especially seen and learned over this past year that we always have a little more inside of us. By surviving, in some instances thriving, like many of you have done this year, you've changed and increased your belief and understanding, and you're stronger for that experience. You've realized that you are stronger and have more to give than you ever knew. By taking easy shots, if you were to do that, you would never be prepared for the hard shots that will inevitably come in life. A type of practice or muscle memory, if you will. Think about it. If you take the hard shots, you're continuously pushing forward, yes, possibly failing. We talk about that a lot, but pushing forward and improving ourselves nonetheless. Taking the easy shots keeps us moving at the same level where we're comfortable, but never increases our ability to achieve at a higher level. So don't worry about the easy shots, because someone else can always make them, and they'll be there to make them for you. Take on the difficult ones, because you've proven you are more than capable this year, and that's where the most personal growth and success will come from. I'm not selling a dream right now. I'm telling you the world you want and can create for yourselves requires you to face adversity and take the difficult shots. Take them, don't quit, and you will all have a story to tell someday. As a matter of fact, when you all have kids someday, and they talk about how hard school is, you have a much better story to tell than all your parents and grandparents sitting out here that have gone on about that old, worn-out story. I walked 5 miles uphill both ways in waist-deep snow. You can look at them and say, ever hear of a pandemic? But seriously, when you leave here tonight, I want you to remember one thing. Easy leads to mediocrity. And mediocrity is not you. Quitting's easy and leads to worse. And boy, have we seen that the world around us today needs much more than that. You need much more than that, because you are much more than that. Your Whitman Hanson Panthers, before today, today, and forever after today. Class of 2021, go make your story. Congratulations. I'd like to invite Tyler Godbout to the podium to recite the class ode.
Class of 2021, congratulations to us all. Now that we have ended this chapter of our lives, let's take a look back at our senior year in review. Where'd all the time go? It feels like we got our driver's license last week, and senior year slipped away into a moment in time. How did we get here so soon? It's still hard to believe, but now we move head first fearless, Taylor's version, to see the world. We should give it a go. We changed our plans. It was brutal out here, but all we did was try. It's safe to say we earned it. Our journey has taught us to cherish the present, treat people with kindness. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company, call me when you want, call me when you need. Don't put any more stress on yourself, and save these days like souvenirs. There are some things that you might fear, but you can't predict the future, so just hold on and never let go. We can go wherever, so let's do it, now or never. Save your tears for another day. Take a moment just to take it in, because there is a glorious sunrise ahead. Yeah, I guess the end is here, but even if we gotta risk it all right now, we'll be all right.
Julia Benvey will now present the class gift.
The class of 2021 will be contributing to the Pay It Forward account as its class gift. This account, established by the class of 2018, is overseen by advisors and administrators as it is used for speakers and programs that cultivate a positive school climate for students and staff. It is our desire that by contributing to this account, the class of 2021 will leave a lasting legacy at Whitman Hanson by directly impacting future Whitman Hanson students. We hope that other graduating classes may consider adding to it in the future.
I'd like to invite the Vice President of the Class of 2021, Anna Williams, back to the lectern for the presentation of Teacher of the Year and Staff Person of the Year.
This year, the class of 2021 selected Mrs. Chelsea Smith as the Teacher of the Year. With her unparalleled passion for teaching, especially astronomy, Mrs. Smith inspires all students to reach for the stars. Seniors highlighted her flexibility and creativity as she always strives to create an environment that meets the diverse needs of all learners. Mrs. Smith, the class of 2021 would like to say thank you for all that you do and congratulate you on being chosen as our Teacher of the Year. This year, the class of 2021 selected Mr. Matt Carew as Staff Member of the Year. Everyone knows Mr. Carew because he is everywhere, and this does not go unnoticed by senior students. Whether he is found plowing the parking lots in winter or maintaining the grounds during summer, he always has a smile on his face and a friendly wave. If there is something that students need done, he always seems to show up and fix it. Mr. Carew, the class of 2021 would like to say thank you for all that you do and congratulate you on being chosen as our Staff Member of the Year.
Anybody up for another speech, or should we give out some of these diplomas? Diplomas? All right, well, I like listening to students, so one more time, what should we do? All right. At this time, the graduating class will receive their diplomas.
One of them said it wrong, too.
Ready? Abigail Boyoung Delory.
Peyton Clara Bougela, presented by her mother, Michelle, and school committee member, Michelle Bougela.
Tyler Scott Godbout.
Julia Leanne Benvey.
Delaney Isabella McDonald.
Anna May Williams.
Aiden Paul Abella.
Jack Thomas Allen. There's one trip. Told you.
Gabriela Luzada Almeida.
Isabel Nicolina Amato.
Darren Robert Amato.
Nathaniel Zachary Amato.
Julian Alexander Anderson.
Michael Hanny Anthony.
Jennifer Maria Arico.
Joel Coelho McKenna Arsenal.
Brooke Danielle Astudo.
Emma Alexis Bagg.
Jasmine A. Bailey.
Skyla Lucille Barnes.
Alec Bollier.
Isabella Pauline Benton.
Sophia May Berardinelli.
Andrew John Bergen.
Alexis Danielle Billings.
Christopher Edward Blackman.
Emily Louise Blake.
Zachary David Beaujolais.
Victoria Ali Bortolato.
Haley Elizabeth Bowden.
Dylan Alexander Braunbeck.
Julie Elizabeth Buckley.
Brianna Lee Bueller.
Matthew John Butler.
Jillian Shea Butler.
Sarah Ann Byers, presented by her mother and school committee member Dawn Byers.
Alana Naomi Cabral Garcia.
Liam James Cafferty.
Samuel Charles Callahan.
Abigail Mary Carew.
Drew Michael Cirillo.
Nicole Craig Clack.
Lauren Elizabeth Clark.
Abigail Anna Cleary.
Reese Ellen Cordero.
Kylie May Colclaw.
Brennan Francis Coleman.
Peyton Robert Collins.
Emily Elizabeth Concannon.
Jocelyn Hope Connolly.
Alexa Lee Cook.
Logan Gerard Cooper.
Noelle Marie Cornetta.
Kira Jade Cortez.
Gabrielle Elizabeth Cost.
Robert John Croto.
Mariella Elizabeth Crowley.
Ashley Lynette Croto.
No. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Grace Catherine Cully.
Presented by his father and school committee member Daniel Cullity, Sean Ryan Cullity.
Cameron O'Neill Cummings.
Emily Ann Daggett.
Emma Love Daly.
Nicholas Daniel Daly.
Adam Danicki.
Amanda Michelle Dower.
Nicholas Jeremy Dean.
Taylor Page Dearth.
Serena Mary D.
Diana Maria DeLuca.
Dalton Mark DeRozier.
Kaylee Elizabeth Dolan.
Nicholas Matthew Dolan.
Caton Lois Drake.
Callie Eva Rose Eddy.
Randall Matthew Elfman.
Zachary Lawrence Ethier.
Kyla Ann Fagan.
Haley Elizabeth Ferguson.
Avery Wagner Fernandez.
Megan Marie Feudo.
Samuel Louis Figueredo.
Rachel Marie Finch.
Emma Rose Fitzgerald.
Kimberly Ann Flanagan.
Mason Christopher Flabat.
Keenan Fong.
Thomas Matthew Ford.
Benjamin Allen Furtado.
Alexandra Jennifer Gajewski.
Allison Casey Gallahue.
Jack Douglas George.
Antonio Carlos Gervasio Jr.
Nolan Henry Gilcoin.
Gabrielle Rose Gillen.
Lily McLean Glover.
Matthew Paul Glover.
Damari Amir Goldsmith Green.
Ty Gerald Gordon.
Olivia May Gramazio.
Jesse Douglas Grushi.
Justin Richard Gilmet.
Aya Haboob.
Anne Claire Mary Haley.
Declan Jake Hannafy.
Riley Jules Maureen Harlow.
Morgan Kylie Hoffler.
Devin Charles Hawker.
Logan Xavier Heath.
Bryn Elizabeth Haggerty.
Joshua Allen Hendrigan.
Page 3. Sarah Elizabeth Herlihy.
Bridget Elizabeth Hickey.
Samantha Mary Higgins.
Patrick James Hughes.
Logan Reed Humphreys.
Ryan Thomas Hunt.
Kevin John Hurlbut.
Melanie Jordan Hurlbut.
Kayleen Corinne Hurley.
Eden Christian Hutchings.
Leah Miriam Hutchings.
Michael Anthony Hutchko.
Samantha St. Charles Hutchings.
Alyssa Nicolina Invernizzi.
Adonis Timothy Jameson.
Shane Michael Kaler.
Alyssa Mackenzie Kalp.
Theophilus James Camperides.
Ryan Michael Ketty.
Cameron Joseph Keefe.
Daniel Bruce Ken.
Daniel Joseph Kent.
Michael Thomas King.
Divya M. Kumar.
Jenna Michelle Lacey.
Taylor Elena Lambiasi.
Rebecca Christine Lang.
Timothy Tobin Leahy.
Skylar Damon Leonard.
Cole Grayson Levangie.
Cameron William Lindsay.
Jeremy Leo Lynn.
Cameron Andrew Lishman.
Hallie Catherine Loring.
Molly Murphy Lyons.
Christopher Jared McDonald.
Nicholas James McFarlane.
Aiden James McKay.
James Patrick McNeil.
Francis X. Manganello III.
Jessica Reese Maniscalco.
Emma Grace Markowski.
Thomas Michael Marshall.
Vincent David Mascio.
Robert Thomas Marshall.
Xavier Mata.
Aiden Lewis McCarthy.
Sarah Elizabeth McClymont.
Emily Nicole McDonald.
Ryan Owen McDonald.
Maggie Sue McGrath.
Miles Greer McGinnis.
Zachary Curtis McKee.
Colin Scott McLaughlin.
Brian Joseph Mead.
Joanna Marie Jenny Medeiros.
Aiden Connor Miller.
Bryn Tricia Miller.
Haley Catherine Minicucci.
Lucas Mitten.
Olivia Marie Montes.
Riley Elizabeth Moran.
Danielle Mello Morera.
Abigail Elizabeth Morgan.
Patrick James Maroney.
Nathan Patrick Morse.
Griffin John Mountcastle.
Julia Rose Mulligan.
Catherine Rose Mulligan.
Savannah Jean Murphy.
Jason Patrick Murphy.
Avery Reese Murray.
Elena Lillian Matasio.
Madeline Claire Nagel.
I got it. Brendan Patrick Neely.
Mitchell. Margaret Michelle Newcomb.
Brooke Hannah Nisby.
Lucy Marie Nixon.
Aiden Mark Norton.
Janelle Elizabeth Nye.
Eve Mary O'Brien.
Nathaniel Edward O'Brien.
Ty Kevin O'Brien.
Christopher Robert O'Brien, diploma presented by former school committee member Robert O'Brien.
Aiden Stephen O'Brien.
Jenna Kathleen O'Neill.
Amelia Elizabeth O'Rourke.
Damon Richard Packer.
Abby Pedersen.
Angelique Yvonne Pellig.
Bradley Michael Palisser.
Ella Grace Bridget Perry.
Alexandria Lorraine Perry.
Cassidy Francis Perry Nunn.
Sophia Elena Petrus.
Lauren Bridges Phelps.
Alana Catherine Phillips.
Emily Rusco Phelps.
Joshua Raymond Pike.
Savannah Ray Poirier.
William Joseph Polito.
Devin Alden Johnson Provost.
Jada Bell Rafties.
Elizabeth Lynn Redfern.
Aiden Michael Rind.
Rearig Rebecca P. Ribeiro.
Maxwell Hunt Rodrigue.
Elizabeth Haley Rogers.
Emma Lorraine Rogers.
Nora Ann Rooney.
Delaney Rose Rowell.
Jennifer Patricia Ryan.
Ariana Lynn Sabag.
Emma Lee Saborin.
Madison Francis Savicki.
Madison Eileen Scotia.
Michael Francis Savicki.
Carl Joseph Shermer Jr.
Sydney Allison Scott.
Ella Brooke Scriven, diploma presented by Father School Committee member Christopher Scriven.
Hunter William Sebastian.
Rachel Lee Seeley.
Andrew James Serkis.
Dylan Davis Seiler.
Christina Simone Short.
Robert C. Sitters III.
Matthew Allen Sinclair.
Lindsay Renee Scuttering.
John Francis Slater.
Abigail Lynn Smith.
Isabella Sokolowski.
Allie Marie Solari.
Zachary Matthew Standish.
John Everett Stappen Jr.
Graham Thomas Stewart.
Riley Ann Stokinger.
Michaela Jane Sturgeon.
Anna Elizabeth Sullivan.
Caitlin Bridget Sweeney.
Joseph Christopher Sweeney.
John David Sweeney.
Mackenzie Paige Texera.
Erin Marie Tilley.
Lily Martha Torpy.
Dominic Joseph Yuba.
Ryan Anthony Vassell.
Gianna Patricia Bisaki.
Abraham Vital.
Mabel Scout Duval White.
Thomas Joseph Whitman.
Kevin Paul Willis.
Bridget May Wills.
Ryan Joseph Wilson.
Zachary Allen Wood.
Mr. Rosen, C+. I'll take it. Class of 2021, please rise. It is an honor to exercise the responsibility vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Please move your tassels from right to left. I now pronounce you graduates of Whitman Hanson Regional High School! Congratulations!